Howdy guys. So I've been working on a couple projects, but last night I watched Alex Meyers' video on obsession, and I'm gonna be honest, it made me uncomfortable. Hey, Alex, you say that you want a nuanced approach, so let's do that. You're wrong. And before we begin, you tried to deflect criticism by implying that someone that doesn't agree with you or someone that doesn't share your same viewpoints are people that are just obsessed with the movie. That they've seen the movie 10 times since it's seen theater, and they themselves have become obsessed, as you so eloquently put. But I know you're wrong from only seeing the movie one time in the theaters, opening night. Like, that's the last time that I saw the movie, and even I know that you're wrong. You make 2 or 3 rather sloppily, poorly put together points as to why Bear is not as bad as we think he is, or that at the very least, while he is still a villain by the end, you make the argument that he wasn't the villain until much later, until he knew the full scope of what was happening to Nikki. And that's when he becomes really messed up. And that's when his true intentions come out. So we're going to go over those points. The first point that you kind of make is that Bear couldn't know that the One Wish Willow was real. So there's 2 sides to this. First of all, you say that because Bear couldn't know that the One Wish Willow would work and that it was real, that his initial wish isn't messed up in any way.
Like, I've seen some internet comment threads where it's like, he only saw her as an object and wanted to remove her autonomy. That's why he made that wish. But like he didn't wish that she would do whatever he wanted, or I wish that she would become obsessed with me and me only. He specifically wished that Nikki would love him more than anyone, which is literally what everyone who has ever had a crush wants.
But it really tells you a lot about his character from the very beginning. Bear does not have the courage to tell Nikki how he feels about her and that he likes her when he is asked point blank. She asks him, "Hey, do you like me?" His response is,
"Do you like me?"
I think we're good friends.
After he fails to tell her that he likes her, she leaves frustrated, and this makes him upset, which makes sense. But when he gets out the One Wish Willow and he breaks that, what does he wish for? His wish is to make Nikki Freeman love him. Even giving you, which I think we all do, that the One Wish Willow working was a surprise. His initial wish still isn't introspective. It's to change Nikki. His instinct isn't to look inward and to ask for courage or for less self-loathing, but he instead asks for Nikki Freeman to love him more than anyone else in the world. And that is a possessive wish. That's him seeing her as an object. If before my wife and I were together and she asked me, "Do you like me?" and I didn't say it and said no, or said I want to remain good friends or something like that, and she walked away clearly upset, and I walked away thinking, man, I missed my shot, and I had the chance to make a wish, I don't think that my first instinct would be, "Hey, I wish she loved me." Crap. I think my first wish would be, "Hey, I wish I grew a pair." My instinct wouldn't be to be mad at her and make a wish changing her. It would be to be mad at myself and make a wish to change myself, even if I didn't think the wish would ever come true. And this is an immediate red flag, for lack of a better term. This confirms that Bear doesn't take responsibility for his actions, which is something that the movie shows throughout the entire runtime. When we are introduced to Bear, we are shown that his cat got into his grandmother's medicine, and the cat dies. His first instinct is, how'd you get into that?
How did you get into these?
His first instinct is to be mad at the cat, not how did I leave these pills out in such a way that a cat could get into a medicine bottle. So even giving you that Bear couldn't know that the One Wish Willow would work, his initial wish was selfish. His initial wish, his intent behind it was to change her, not to change him. And again, you say that Bear couldn't know that the One Wish Willow was real, which we all agree with. That's not an argument that people are making, is that Bear knew that the One Wish Willow would work. But what we are shown is that from the moment that Bear makes the wish, Nikki starts acting bizarrely different. Like a totally different person from what we have seen so far. You even say that she acts out of character, that she tries to get him into her house, and then she invites herself to his and into his bed.
I'm so sorry.
So as you can see, Nikki's starting to act a little out of character. She's saying things that don't make sense. She also demands to go over to his house to spend the night.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nikki, Why?
My dad's dying.
We are shown that Bear recognizes that all of this is unusual, that this isn't normal behavior for Nikki. Bear is weirded out by this, and you say, to his credit, he doesn't immediately take advantage of this.
And you know, to Bear's credit, he's not immediately jumping at the chance to take advantage of her or whatever.
But he does immediately take advantage of her. You say he couldn't know the One Wish Willow works. Sure, but Nikki is clearly drunk, high, on drugs, I don't know, having a mental breakdown. Something is not right. But with all that, you still say he's acting above board.
So at this point, Bear thinks that Nikki was acting weird, kissed him, freaked out, etc. because she was on drugs, right? So again, to him, in this moment, it all seems totally above board.
If you start to do something with someone that eventually lead to what you so humorously call the devil's tango, when they are clearly not in the right state of mind, you are taking advantage of them. A kiss is out of line here, dude. A touch is out of line here. They are clearly not in a place to give you consent, so you are taking advantage. You even try to give Bear credit by saying he was genuinely concerned. He told Ian about it the next day.
And again, to his credit, the very next day he immediately tells Ian that he thinks something's wrong with Nikki. Like he seems genuinely concerned.
Just pretend like we're laugh.
Yeah.
I think Nikki is going through something. What? I don't know, dude. She was acting so weird. Like she would Like what? Is she okay? No.
So Alex, if someone's clearly not in the right state of mind, high, drunk, having a mental breakdown, if you use that to get with somebody, is that not taking advantage of them? You can make that argument that you want, that she kissed him all you want, but she's not in a right state of mind to give consent. She's just not, clearly. But the only reason it didn't go any further than the kiss was because the real Nikki came out and was freaked out. And when that happens, what does Bear say? You kissed me! Again, not taking any responsibility for the fact that he was kissing her back while she was in this state of mind. But let's say we ignore all that. Let's pretend that that never happened. Let's say that we just give you that he did not immediately take advantage of the situation. That is literally doing the bare minimum. You aren't not the villain of the story because you don't somebody. The bar is literally on the floor and still you want to say, nah, I think the bar should be lower. Your second point is that once Bear does realize the One Wish Willow was real, what was he supposed to do? According to you, Bear starts to realize that the wish affected Nikki in some way. At the very least, the wish influenced her to love him.
But here's where Bear starts to maybe kind of realize what's really going on here.
Bear, I love you so much. I don't think I could live without you.
You love me more than anyone in the world?
Yes, more than anyone.
To me, at least, it totally seems like a fanfic or whatever that he thinks would have no way of actually coming true. I'm not saying Bear is a blameless, innocent victim, okay? But I think some of you are a little too quick to attach motivation and subtext to this character that is not based on the movie. Like, it really seems like some of you want him to be a horrible, incel, intentionally malicious guy, regardless of what actually happens in the movie.
Okay, fair. We should use what's in the movie and that's it. We should only use not the fan theories that we read, not the reviews on Letterboxd we see, but the only things that we should care about is what happens and what we are shown, told, whatever, within the runtime of the movie. Did you ignore or just forget that right after the Denny scene? Did you ignore or forget that the very scene that you say that Bear knows that the One Wish Willow has influenced Nikki? That he does sleep with her? It literally jumps from him at dinner saying, "It doesn't matter," to them being together with a horror jump scare sound effect and spooky music. It's very convenient that your nuanced approach forgets that Bear raped Nikki so that you can make him less of a bad guy. You also make the argument that once he does know everything that's happened, what is he supposed to do?
But he keeps on dating her and tries to continue on as if this isn't the most horrible situation anyone could imagine. Although, to be fair, what is he supposed to do? Because if he breaks up with her, she's gonna hunt him down. And the only other choice, as we learn, is that the spell will break if he dies.
I don't know, dude. Not continue to date her when he clearly knows the scope of what is happening to the real person that he cares about. When the woman that he supposedly cares for is in agony.
You want to talk to her? You want to talk to her?
Who is that?
Nikki.
That the only part of Nikki that he is actually with is her body. Also, a wild choice to continually call her a Latina mommy when the subject of the movie is this.
But then again, Nikki is a hot Latina, so one can only remain strong for so long. Okay, see, Bear, I don't know why you're making this face. You wanted the Crystal Mommy Latina experience, and you got the Crystal Mommy Latina experience.
You end your video by saying, yes, Bear is the villain, but how we got here is more nuanced than you think.
How we get to that point, I think, is a lot more nuanced than a lot of you were giving the movie credit for.
No, it's not. It's pretty straightforward. For some reason, you seem to have missed that from the beginning, Bear is shown to be selfish and obsessed, unhealthily, with Nikki. And that his initial wish was a selfish one that led to all of this happening. That Bear is a villain from the moment that we see him, really. And do you just not want to see it? Also, I'm not going to let you lie to make Bear seem like a nice guy, that he heroically sacrifices himself at the end of the day. Yeah, no. He starts to and then chickens out. He's about to make himself throw up and get out of it, only to be stopped by Wish Nikki breaking the Willow and wishing for him to love her in the same way that she loves him. And it's only because of that wish that Bear doesn't chicken out. Bear is in no way the hero of this story. So guys, I know this isn't my typical type of upload, but honestly, as someone who knows people who have been taken advantage of, for lack of a better YouTube-friendly way of saying it, this kind of diminishing the heinous actions of a character, just, it gets under my skin. And I think the discourse around this is important. And when you have 4 million subscribers watching your stuff, you can't handle this stuff carelessly and thoughtlessly. Why are so many so eager to give Bear the benefit of the doubt? I hope that all makes sense. So subscribe and comment down below if there's something that I missed in his video. Have a blessed day.